Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into True FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrel? The black barrel is to tell Joseph Boakale, if you don't organize yourself in your grateful manner, we'll give you a better life.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
News summary at 12. My name is Hansen the represent.
Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life, that's what you see. I have a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life, that's what I live, you know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Both connecting those systems.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
A pleasant good evening from People Road in Peace. Welcome to News Desk, 45 minutes of news from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. This newscast is sponsored by Orange Liberia and Liberia Limited. My name is Marka Davis, anchoring this presentation. The top stories we are following tonight: President Joseph Boakale appoints Christopher Peters as officer in charge of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency after suspending the Director General and his two deputies. But the National Civil Society Council of Liberia wants the 3 DA officials dismissed. Liberian 17 million United States appropriation 2024 budget for the judiciary describes the action of the legislature and executive abuse of the power given them under Article 34D of the Liberian Constitution. Government of Liberia, Western Cluster Liberia's full use of permit, attributes the decision to the compliance in providing $200,000 United States dollars for road repairs in the Western Corridor. And out of Liberia, African National Congress suggests forming a government of national unity after losing its parliamentary majority in last week's election in South Africa. The details of these developments, including the bulletin of news, the voices of the newsmakers, sports, are all part of this edition of News Desk. We're taking a short break to be back. Stay tuned.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into True FM 96.1.
Well, thanks for joining us. Up next is the bulletin of news with Johnson Batoma.
Good evening, Martha. Good evening to all. President Walker has appointed Christopher Peters as the officer in charge of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency after suspending the Director General and his two deputies. According to an executive marshal release, Christopher Peters will remain in charge through the investigation into the fight amongst the LDA heads on Monday this week. He described Peters as a highly trained security personnel with strong recommendations. The investigation of President Joseph Boakale was to uncover the details of the incident at the LDA store within the agency, ensuring the integrity of the fight against drug-related crimes. The suspended officials include Director General Ibrahim Kurman, Deputy General Instruction Cole, and Deputy Director General for Operations Hassan Fatka. According to the presidency, all three have been suspended without pending the outcome of the investigation. In a related development, the National Civil Society Council of Liberia wants the three suspended heads of the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency dismissed with immediate effect. In a related Wednesday by the council is set to fight against drugs and illicit substances. The biggest battle the country faces as such, head of such government institution must be responsible individuals with passion to save or to serve the people of Liberia. According to the council, the matter at the LDA is subject to the security of the state, and as such, urgency will be attached in addressing the situation. Recent scuffle occurred between heads of the that lead to the storing of identities, something that led to the suspension of Abraham Conan and his two deputies. At the same time, the National Society Council of Liberia has ordered President Joseph Barker's decision to suspend all three top government officials of the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency for continuing infighting. The council, which is the organization for all civil society organizations in Liberia, is also calling on the Liberian leader with immediate effect dismiss the three officials have been replaced as the fight against drugs is pivotal to the country's growth and development. The Supreme Court has rejected $17 million appropriation in the 2024 budget for the judiciary. The judiciary on Wednesday, according to our judicial correspondent, viewed the allocation of US 70 million as one of that's contingency amount of $3 million, constituting 2.8% of the national budget as an imposition and abuse of the power given the legislature under Article 34D, which undermines the functions of another branch of government. The judiciary in a statement said the lack of adequate financial support for the judiciary by the government in the years has resulted in deteriorating infrastructures, lack of logistics, and worsening condition of services at the judiciary. The statement further said, on the passage of the 2024 budget, the legislature and the executive branches are not prepared to regard the judiciary as a core government. The government have elected to appropriate a mere 8%, while the legislature has allocated 13.84% to itself and 83.36% to the executive. The judiciary is meanwhile calling on the two branches to take immediate action to address the issue by revisiting the budget submission to the legislature through the Ministry of Finance in accordance with the financial autonomy out of the new judicial law to avoid further erosion of judicial functions within Liberia. The government of Liberia has restored the road permit in, imposed on Western Coastal Liberia and Indian and operating in Liberia. A communication sent to the company on Wednesday, the Ministry of Public Works announced the restoration of the company's road user permit in a communication addressed to Joseph Code, Darius Code, Western Cluster Liberia Chief Executive Officer. Public Works Minister said the restoration of the road use permit is contingent upon the company's compliance in providing 100,000 repairs of the road from the junction to the Simple Bridge in receipt of the assessment report to provide for roadway a bridge parallel to the Simple. The minister said communications to the institution serves as an official notification to the effect that the road user of the company, which was suspended on May 3, 2024, is restored. Mr. Giddens restored the permit on, on an agreed understanding and provision that the institution widens 4 by 5 meters with 2.5 meters with a condition that they provide proof of contract provided if applicable. A 28-year-old man who allegedly stabbed his friend for potting food in the Baptist community has been charged with manslaughter by the Liberian National Police. Defendant Maud Denison, according to RCI, was arrested for alleged complicity in the death of Kasa Cooper, who was slashed or gauged with a glass bottle during an altercation between of them on May 17, 2024, on the RRA highway. The altercation began when an issue of botting phone ensued between both defendant Jamal and the deceased, which later resulted to a fist fight or was stopped through the intervention of community members. It erupted again when both men were armed with deadly objects, and Casa Cooper was struck on his right elbow with a broken bottle, causing him to bleed profusely until later he collapsed. During an interview with the defendant regarding the death of Casa Cooper, he stated that he was provoked to anger, pleaded for forgiveness. Our judicial correspondent said the defendant has since been remanded at the Monrovia City Prison by the Monrovia City Court awaiting trial as provided by members of the Liberian Senate are expected to converge this Thursday in Buchanan, County for a 4-day retreat. The retreat, which will be held on the theme ensuring a robust Senate oversight, is aimed at making revitalization plans of the County Development Fund, which is geared towards positively impacting the well-being of Liberians. Others are the reviewing and amending the Senate rules where possible, as well as to place its modernization which division in proper perspectives. According to a Senate press release during the full retreat section, senators endeavored to discuss and produce, among other things, a compelling roadmap agenda which will address an effective decision-making goal to focus on increasing the revenue envelope of the nation. The Senate release added that such will be possible through making a program-based budgeting and a priority for the 15th subdivision of Liberia. The Senate release further that the upcoming retreat will also address issues of salary disparity in the Senate, update on progress that have been made with respect to modernizing the Senate, as well as other critical issues such as security and Senate access control. The House Committee Chair on Good Governance wants the police to release the investigation report on the King George Saka in Kidman County. Speaking Tuesday during the regular section of the House of Representatives, Representative Fuller family approved the engagement of the leadership of the House of Representatives to ensure justice is dispensed in the matter. According to the book of the lawmaker, the situation that occurred in the construction area of the mountain took away the lives of some of the citizens. Representative for the family noted that the people of the county who lost their lives should not be hindered by the back of that body. As such, there is a need for thorough investigation. Meanwhile, the House Committee Chair on Good Governance has vowed to ensure the people of King George receive justice, noting or stating that they do not deserve maltreatment for their own resources by foreign investment. The father of a 12-year-old girl, the Tower We, has launched an SOS call to national government and philanthropic organizations to aid the child seek advanced education abroad. Moi, as Prince M. Moi, not the Bon County Senator, explained his appeal to RCI News, said Little Town was allegedly hit by a speeding vehicle along the Fender Red Highway in December of last year, sustaining serious injury or wounds on her body. According to Mui, the child was immediately rushed at the GFK Medical Center, where she went a coma for a week. Speaking to RSI News Wednesday, we noted that after several examinations, doctors knew the tower buoy left arm and several tooth were broken, after which she underwent minor surgery at the GFK. Moy further lamented that the family has been advised that little Tara Moy be taken abroad for advanced treatment because of her deteriorating condition. A pro-media group, Dabawa, has ended a 2-day digital skills and fact-checking training for Sarah journalists in Kathy, giving an overview of the organization in Bangkok, the Center for Journalism Innovation and Development International Expansion Manager, that's Malaysia Daxin. The workshop is part of the organization interventions in building the capacity of journalists to be able to respond to information disorder in Africa. According to her, the 26 to equip journalists in Liberia with the necessary knowledge and tools that will enable them to respond to information disorder to produce credible information that will advance democratic practices in Liberia. Duxin further admonished participants to utilize the knowledge gained to improve their workings and impart the Liberian media landscape. In remarks, the participants lauded uh, the organization for organizing the training and promised to utilize the knowledge acquired in the country. A former Moswell District Tree Representative City Bashir has identified with a school in Jacksonville as means of helping to buttress national government in the education sector. According to the former district lawmaker of the district lawmaker, the gesture is part of his way of contributing to education. Speaking at the Christ Salvation Academy during the donation of the school materials, CB Bashir said his team is working with schools in various districts. Items donated include chalkboard, nails, among others. Receiving the donation on behalf of the school, the Vice Principal for Instruction, Gamo Nay Das Nemi, thanked CB Bashir and his team for the initiative. A group under the banner concerned residents of Yoruba community in Painesville has expressed dismay over reported discussions to have portion of the community on a district focus for the county. The group through its chairman, Melvin Cooper, accused some areas of the community of using the current leadership crisis in the community to seek what he called their selfish gains. Melvin Cooper argued that Yoruba has been part of the 19 communities in District 5. As such, the ongoing discussions to claim certain portion of the community for District 4 is a recipe for crisis. Speaking to reporters for Western Peninsula, Kima called District 5 Representative Procedure Corpo for swift intervention. Kima also warned individuals involved to desist or be resisted by residents of the community. And away from Liberia, South Africa's African National Congress has suggested forming a government of national unity after losing its parliamentary majority in last election. It says it has reached out to all parties, but negotiations are still underway. ANC spokesperson and told journalists that the results indicate that South Africans want all parties to work together. The ANC got 40% of the vote, with the Central Right Democratic Alliance 22%, and the MK party of former President Jacob Zuma of 15, and the Radical Economic Freedom Fighters on 9%. This was the first time the ANC had lost its majority since Nelson Mandela led its victory in the first democratic elections following the end of the racist system of apartheid in 1994. That's the news bulletin. It's back to Maka Davis.
Johnson Matoma for the news bulletin. The features here on News X. If you just joining us, the top stories we are following tonight, President Joseph Boakai appoints Christopher Peters as the officer in charge of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency after suspending Director General Ibrahim Kumar and his two deputies. But the National Civil Society Council of Liberia wants the president dismissed the three DEA officials. Liberian judiciary rejects 17 million dollar appropriation in the 2024 budget for the judiciary, describes the action of the legislature and executive as abuse of the power given them under Article 34D of the Liberian Constitution. Government of Liberia restores West Coastal Liberia's broad use of credit, attributes the decision to the company's compliance, providing 200,000 US dollars for road repairs in the Western Corridor. One of the home front African National Congress is forming a government of national unity after losing its parliamentary majority in last elections in South Africa. Let's bring you the first development. The father of 12-year-old Tao Moi has launched an SOS called to national government and philanthropic organizations to aid the child seek advanced medication abroad. Prince M. Moi, not county senator, explaining his deal to RCR News, said Little Tower was allegedly hit by a speeding vehicle along the Fender Red Highway in December of last year, sustaining serious wounds on her body. According to Moi, the child immediately rushed to the JFK Medical Center where she went in coma for over a week. He has been explaining more about the child's situation.
My name is Engineer Prince Emily. I am citizen of my daughter at the age of 4 years of age. Is a mountain lad. Road accident adjacent to the Upper Junction. If you broke her right, she was taken to John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital. When you say the motor accident, was it a motorbike? It was a car. By the help of God, she tried that way. She came to for in coma for 7 days. She couldn't come to any other thing. But after the medical treatment and other medical report, they decided that she needed to go for further in order to have the mouth working normally. Right now, she found it very difficult to even eat. Now, as I try to get to put him back down, there's no way that being open. So if I cost almost like 6,000 in the United States dollars. Now, as we speak, we are seeing meaningful Liberian needs wherever we are to, so that will wait to go to India or wherever the surgery can be done to do a medical surgery. How is the process? Have you started the process? The process of get a visa, get or document it at the hospital, go to the your institutions, so that's all the ticket and the finance the trip. How much are we talking about? We this person right now have about 5,000 United States dollars. That is will be done major because they have to do that and to find it difficult. Yeah, our house, you know, these are the photos. Yeah, these are the photos. Yeah, Jeep taking the picture. She was beautiful. Yeah, you know, old on Sunday evening, December 10th, her photos. Just like her beautiful way of being like. I didn't know my issue one, I didn't know a Goshen community after my and about culture girl where I live, seeing environment. My number plus 231 836 935 and my orange number plus 231 77 0252. Should I was taking to a lawyer or government lawyer say I not so every time we do comes and then came according to him money questions and looking at the court proceeding. So came he contributed $1,000 as a contribution to the trip. And he did it on appeal. He said he don't have money. And myself looking at it because I took the mail the court from January to June 6 months, and the court can come out with no other money. So we were looking at frustrated, disappointing. But when they pay, they are still going. And lawyers are they are not covered.
He is Prince Moi, the father of 12-year-old Tao Moi, who is seeking assistance to have her treated out of the country. A group under the banner Concerned Residents of Joe Biden Community in Painesville has expressed dismay over reported discussions to have portion of the community under District 4, Monserrado County. The group, through its chairman, Melvin Kempe, accused some elders of the community of using the current leadership crisis in the community to seek what he calls their selfish gains. Melvin Kempe argued that Yoruba has been part of the 19 communities in District 5 has urged the ongoing discussion to claim certain part of the community of District 4 is a recipe for chaos. Speaking Wednesday to reporters in Painesville, Melvin Kempe called on District 5 Representative Priscilla Cooper to swiftly intervene.
Our immediate intent has been drawn to the political process of our community. It may interest you to know our community held the first democratic election on December 7, 2019. The winner of the post had a democratic mandate to serve a term of 3 years pending. Considering that said tenure expired according to the truth, the community all back to either elect a new team of leader or the community of the incumbents. We observe the community chairman, Mr. General L. Managed to take the back to election. The process was installed by several ratings from so-called leaders. 2022 interest and rules are because for their safety. Historically, the community has the 19th constitution of five. Unfortunately, today, we have a element of oneness. There's somebody among the having on the side in order to usher the community on a different flow. We want to see this government in sensible by one the communities of the nations of the we see this and respect of our conclusion. All represent the purpose. Yes, the escalate represent most of the response to the fear of mitigated.
He is the chairman of the group on concerned residents of our community in Painesville, Melvin Kempe, raising concern about reported ongoing discussions to have portion of the community allocated to District Number 4, Macerado County. A pro-media group, Power, has ended a two-day digital skills and fact-checking training for several journalists held in Bond County. Giving an overview of the workshop on Tuesday in Banga City, the Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development International Expansion Manager Maxine Danso said the workshop is part of Obama's interventions building the capacity of journalists to be able to respond to information disorder in Africa. According to her, the training seeks to equip journalists in Nigeria with the necessary knowledge and tools that would enable them to respond to information disorder to produce credible information that will advance democratic practices in Nigeria.
This two-day training is one of the interventions that we have in upskilling journalists, building the capacity of journalists to be able to respond to the information disorder crisis that we have in Africa, and to not only operate, we are headquartered in Nigeria first of all, but we also have operations in Liberia, in the Gambia, in Sierra Leone, Ghana, in Senegal, Ivory Coast, in other African countries. Two-day training is meant to equip journalists in Liberia with the knowledge and the resources and the tools they need to be able to respond to the information disorder. By doing this, produce credible information, quality information to make accessible to the public, make accessible to everyone as a whole, to advance practices in Liberia and work on the development. We had a ton of training, we had some like make, which is okay. It's not quantity, it's more quality. So even if I do not 144 up to the task, we need to do it. But if half of the project, if it's even well, do what is expected of us, and for us, they will be able to do fact checks, be able to spot and identify information, or provide the necessary interventions in the field of fact check. Immediately address the article or explains the aspects of the utilize the skills that have been given them, and they see it's for what they do. They want to see their working crew. They want to see that in Liberia, people do not just have access to information, but they actually have access to credible and quality information that will impact on the way that journalism is practiced in the country.
She is the manager for international extension at the Journalism Education and Development of the Power. She is Masin Danso spoke recently in Long County. In remarks, the participants lauded the power for organizing the training and promised to utilize the knowledge acquired in countering misinformation.
My name is Anthony Jacob. I work for the Broadcasting Corporation. Today, the team after yesterday, that we just concluded today was rewarding training. There are too many arguments to this training. We've been able to learn new things, and I think those materials we learn, the tools we got of our facilitators about fast check when they use properly, means our ability to show that fast work the proper information. It has made a significant impact, such as there are things I didn't know in time past, such as some of the tools you use to verify information to fast check. Today, I'm going home with wealth and knowledge that I can use to enhance my journalistic profession, to enhance my capacity in ensuring that when information starts making social media, when information has been published by a media outlet, I can fast really show that the public gets to know. I think with the I feel in both anyone fast check it to get new content with meta.
I'm Cecilia Chikoli. Let me first say thank you to the organizer because to fact check the capture is before you get any information, you should get the source of the information. By doing that, you are doing fact checking. So as a journalist, you should be professional in your broadcasting. You should be ethical. Everything you need to fact check is
Has this training made your professional?
they have added qualification to because whenever query error or press the of checking, so it has done something just great in life.
Were some participants in the media training organized by Dubawa in Bong County, speaking there on Tuesday in Banga City. With over an hour in the newscast, this is a reminder that you are listening to News Dex, 45 minutes of news from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. Sorry, we could not bring you sports tonight, but the top stories we're following: President Joseph Boakai appoints Christopher Peters as officer in charge of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency after suspending Director General Abraham Kuma and his two deputies. The Supreme Court rejects 17 million United States dollar appropriation in the 2024 budget for the judiciary, describes the action of the legislature and the executive as abuse of the power given them under Article 34D of the Constitution. Government of Liberia restores Western Cluster Liberia's road user permit, attributes the decision to the company's compliance in providing 200,000 United States dollars for road repairs in the western corridor of Liberia. And of the home front, African National Congress, the ANC, suggests forming a government of national unity after losing its parliamentary majority in last week's elections in South Africa. In more news, former Monserrado County District 3 Representative C.P. Bashel has identified with a school in Johnsonville as means of helping to buttress government efforts in addressing issues affecting education in the country. According to the former Masorado County lawmaker, the gesture is part of his way of contributing to education. Speaking at the Christ Salvation Academy during the donation of the school materials, former Representative Bashel said his team is working with schools in various districts in Masorado.
On behalf of the national school system and on behalf of my consular family, considering the education system and considering our own involvement with schools and working with young Liberian children, it's my own pleasure to be able to present to you these bowls. I think we brought some books and a training package. A training package that will cost about towards $1,000, where we can be able to bring some teachers here to help train the teachers, especially in the pedagogy of the partial training system that comes to be effective and system to the students. So this Johnsonville, it has nothing to do with politics, where you may as in the district, but I think Liberia is our country, and considering that Liberia is our country, everywhere we feel that if there's a need that we can do, and do it so forth. Presentation for 2 weeks ago, I was here at one to see how I can demonstrate and contribute my own quota to the Liberia school system. When we say this system is full of medicine, we should try to do so to make it much better. I've come here to see how best we can upgrade the system, upgrade the school. So again, as I said to you, we have two goals. We have the school, and not just that, we're coming with a package. We will pay the trainers and do other things, and so that will cost us the 5,000 plus this to get the system moving. Okay, so that's why I'm we just 6 more away. Elgamo, almost 36 to almost 40 months. Nice, very, very fine. But the fact that this Johnson, it tells you beyond politics because we are going other places to contribute towards schools, other countries to contribute towards schools, other places to contribute towards schools. We're not running a political, generally a political campaign or whatever. So far, they don't enjoy contribution and campaign. They are not doing, and it's why the field is far away. But it's my own passion for education in this country, and I believe that I can work out and with my own stars in the Liberia school system. That's why we come here to contribute. The last time I came to teach in the classroom, and today I will teach you. I felt that the board needed more ingredients, so that's why I brought this in. So, like I said, beyond there are other schools that are upgrading, building, helping, and so forth. So, to help you and help the system to work better. Like we said, we have training system, we have the classroom training system, we have the normal pedagogy school, and other things that the children learn and so forth. But we want to work with you to build the school. And because we see you in project, we like to do our own way to build the project and make it better.
He is former Monserrado District 3 representative and head of the Bashel school system, CB Bashel. They're speaking, receiving the donation on behalf of the school. The vice principal for instruction, Kwamon Namen, thanked Bashel and his team for the initiative.
Thank you so much. Now we got business manager for institution. We are grateful. The last time we came, festival was not here, and unfortunately today again has to take some visit. We are grateful for how much you think about our mode, especially as you have said on behalf of the family. People get scared to be involved with competition in many ways. But now we see on the aspect of education, we are grateful they have the dream, despite of political involvement, to be a part of how we can improve our country. We are grateful, we are willing to work with you. And thankful you are available every time you be here. You are welcome.
He is the vice principal for instruction at the Crest Salvation Academy School in Johnsonville. Now and they're speaking, received donations from former Representative C. Bashel on Wednesday. Well, folks, this is all the time we got to be with you tonight on News Dex. But before we take leave of you, these are the top stories we followed. President Joseph Boakai appoints Christopher Peters as officer in charge of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency after suspending Director General Ibrahim Kumar and his two deputies. But the National Civil Society Council of Liberia wants the three LDA officials dismissed. The Supreme Court rejects 17 million United States dollar appropriation in the 2024 budget for the judiciary, describes the action of the legislature and executive as abuse of the power given them under Article 34D of the Liberian Constitution. Government of Liberia restores Western Cluster Liberia's road user permit, attributes the decision to the company's compliance in providing 200,000 United States dollars for road repairs in the Western Cluster or corridor of Liberia. Now, the home front, African National Congress, the ANC, suggests forming a government of national unity after losing its parliamentary majority in last week's elections in South Africa. Many thanks to all of our reporters, correspondents, and all those who helped to make this edition of News Dex a success. Thanks to our listeners. Thanks to our sponsors as well, Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. Johnson Matoma read for us this news bulletin. Sangha Sarah Control and coordinated this presentation. Mayan Tobian, as usual, has been behind the cameras carrying the news live on Real TV on Facebook. My name is Maka Davis. Good night.
I would like to fund my account at any time, even here.
Right here, right now.
Here too!
Without moving an inch.
Here would be just perfect.
Henceforth, send money to your Orange Money account from your bank account and vice versa directly from your mobile phone. A simple and fast solution that is always available to ensure a permanent access to your Orange Money services. Anywhere, anytime, send money to your Orange Money account from your bank account from your mobile phone to cash out, to recharge, to transfer, to pay, to buy. To subscribe to this service, go to your bank branch office partner to the Orange Money service. It's all about what matters to you. Orange.